So old lad basically gets into it with a general manager, and he just tells him that like he doesn't like people like him who don't uh follow the rules basically.
Was this because of the training thing?
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah, because
so-
it was there was a lot of publicity around how they had those games with the Vikings or whatever,
Yes.
and they did like a whole social media thing. They live streamed the games and stuff, and Jay and
No, this was before the game. Because his breakdown happened in episode 12, and it was in episode 12 that they had the games.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
In episode 10 is when the breakdown happened. Did I say that?
No, you said episode 12.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Episode 12 was the
regardless,
games.
he still gets into it with general manager Beck, and general manager Beck basically like tells him he's kind of dumb for like basically like
Caring
following
so
the
much.
rules and like bending down and like to these people who don't really give a shit about him.
Yep.
I think also he was getting like pressured from by the uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah.
I think
The
in his
uncle-
mind,
the cousin was also useless.
old lad is doing what he can and like doing like he's trying so hard to do a good job because he like has a sliver of hope that maybe if he does a good enough job that the uncle might like
accept him
and give him like his son's place, like because his son doesn't really seem to do a very good job like in the company, so
That's
he
true.
like is like I think going after like being the one to inherit the company, which
Yeah.
honestly wouldn't really happen because he's not like direct family.
I wonder if it's also like him trying to like bring honor back to him and his
Yeah.
dad because like they treated his dad so poorly.
Yeah.
So
I think that's like also a reason why, but like it's in the back of his head.
yeah, even though it seems like his dad didn't want anything to do with the family. I think the dad, he ran the dreams because he wanted to, because it was like, you know, like he was
He
passionate
enjoyed
about
it.
the team.
Yeah.
And then he just couldn't take the pressure of like working with his brother any longer, and that's why he left.
Yeah.
But so old lad you know, had that encounter with general manager, and he continues drinking alone, and then he, I guess, is gonna do some work because he's a workaholic. And then his cousin calls him, and so to save face, because he wants to continue being on the cousin and the uncle's good side, he goes and meets up with the cousin and the cousin's friend, and they're basically like belittling him. The cousin is being disrespectful, referring to old lad's dad as this young's dad instead of uncle, which is what kind of sets old lad off. He tells him to like before he tells him that they should arm wrestle, his cousin is also making fun of him, being like, yeah, this young isn't like us, he even did his military service. So he's looking down on him, making fun of him, and so old lad snaps because he's also the constipated.
Constipation.
So he's been like kind of holding in all this rage and all this like emotion. Like I think he has like an inferiority complex because of, you know, the uncle and them like looking down on him. And he's just like, it's all like just comes out in this moment.
Oh man.
So he like arm wrestles the cousin. It looks like he's gonna lose because the cousin seems more athletic and, you know, is younger. But he ends up beating him, and then he's like, yeah, you would have won if you had gone to the military, implying like, you know, like we like are stronger when, or you're stronger if you go to the military or whatever. So he like beats his hand up on the table, and then he starts like beating his face up. He starts punching him, and I thought he was gonna beat him to death.
Same.
I was shook it, very shook.
Whoa.
Um,
And then after that, he like remembers. We get like a flashback of general manager, and at that point I was like, oh my gosh, is he gonna like? Are they gonna become buddies? Because
Yeah.
it almost seemed to me like he might take on general manager's advice.
yeah.
And basically,
What was the
like,
advice?
oh, basically, it wasn't really like advice. He was just like, I guess
He
like
didn't general manager kind of like say that he pitied
he
him or
called
something like
and
that.
he like called out how he like always following the rules, and he was like, why should we follow the rules if people who follow the rules like you end up being like treated how he's treated like
Yeah.
because the only reason why general manager Beck knows that he gets treated like is because he saw old lad like get treated like
Yeah, he did as he was driving by one dark and stormy night.
yeah.
Yeah. And general or direct old lad dude saw him looking.
Yes.
And that's why he called him to
Yeah.
have a drink, because he wanted to be like to clarify that he wasn't like weak.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so at that point, I thought that he was gonna be like, oh, he's like gonna like turn himself around and it's gonna
Right.
be all good now. And then no.
Yeah, I was like, he's
No.
either gonna get worse and cause even more problems, or he's gonna go on to general manager's side.
Yeah.
But he got worse.
He did get worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, what happened after that?
Well, then he joins. As punishment, his uncle sends him to be the CEO of the baseball team.
Yes.
Yes.
And then that's when like the so they do the training stuff, and then after the training is when the drug scandals start coming out.
Well, when he gets sent to be the CEO gets, I guess, sent to the to work at the company.
Yeah, I guess he gets promoted or something.
Yeah. This whole time the CEO and old lad have been buddies, I
Yes.
guess, because he knew him. I think the CEO had been working there from when old lad's dad had been working there. So he's known him since he was a kid, basically.
Yeah.
So they're buddies, but so when old lad comes to be the CEO, he takes one of the people from the scout team, the dude that was loyal to the old team leader, and he makes him his secretary, basically.
Yeah.
Because he thinks he'll like spy and do his bidding or whatever.
Yep.
And then what?
And then he
Oh, he puts Jay as he brings Jay to the scout team.
but he does something before that makes general manager goes and he's like demands to know what's going on, and he's like, well, I'm the CEO, and then he tells him to bow to him, and so general manager has to like
And this
bow.
is all happening because they did an audit. Freaking old lad called an audit to be done on the publicity dude.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
the publicity dude is being accused of basically nothing really. And so it's just a way for old lad to be like, I'm the one in charge, like I can do whatever
Just a show of power.
the hell I want.
Yes.
And
so that's why general manager goes.
and he like he explodes. I was like, whoa.
Yep.
He
was
gets
the
huffy.
least calm he was.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
the
least
whole
tough.
drama.
Yup. And so then he has to bow to him and like
Young Lass and Jae are there too, and Jae gets huffy because
Yeah.
he respects general manager. He's like, that's my boss right there.
Yeah, also Jay knows that general manager's gonna have to leave in the
Yeah.
spring.
He accidentally overheard it when he was
Walking by.
yeah. So he knows.
So yeah, then old lad gets huffy because
Jay like is being subordinate.
yeah. And so he tells him to send him home, and general manager is like, his home is the grandson of something.
Yeah. So
So he-
old lad can't get rid of
so
him.
he basically can't fire him because he's a chibble. So he just switches him over to the scouting team. And I
Yeah.
think what he wanted to do too was like break morale and like break the bonds that and the relationships that had grown since having like general manager as like their manager.
Well, but his Jay's bond with young lass had been there before that though.
Yes. But together they're stronger, so he wanted to break that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
now he can't work with general manager as much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so now they can't do as much good work.
That's true. But he excels as a scout employee because he's like diligent.
Yeah.